Who dat?
Hi. You better make sure you come to this meeting.
Yeah.
Oh! Shit!
People
Come on
are
in!
in and out of here all the time.
I know, but I didn't expect that. That's gonna be great.
How's that going?
Hey everybody, this is Nicole.
Hello.
I'm about to do the make this meeting video, so
Perfect.
to tell you to
Make this meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so got to make this meeting coming up. In this video, it's going to be a short recap of some of our important things. We're going to have some reminders for some important things, and then we're going to go back over the grade sheet because I know there's a little bit of confusion last time we talked about this. So let's go. It's been an amazing 4 weeks, like an amazing 4 weeks. I mean, we've gotten so much great feedback, so many great changes, some of them very subtle, cumulative over time, some of them dramatic. And I understand, you know, some people are struggling with implementing just the basics, and that's perfectly fine and normal. Remember, this is a lifestyle. It is a way of life for a lifetime. We have our whole lifetime to experiment with this stuff, but we got to get these basics in place, okay? First 4 weeks were really a vacation when it comes to the real food, because now we're going to get into some real good experimenting and tweaks and modifying and pulling things out, and it's going to be really fun. Like, it really is, because once we get through this low carb phase, it's all downhill from there. We get to get into some testing and things like that. So again, an amazing 4 weeks, a lot of great feedback. We'd love to hear from people. Like, we'd love to hear from people whether it's good or not so good. It doesn't matter, because we like the interaction. It gives us feedback. It lets us help people a little bit more. So just stay in touch with us. Let us know what's going on. Remember, our goal for the past 2 weeks has been maximizing self-sufficiency. And we have all kinds of little things that we do to do that. The first thing that we're doing is pulling back on starches and sugars. We're not trying to go completely low carb yet. We're just kind of being lower carb-ish to kind of prep the body for this low carb phase. And I know a lot of us are doing well with the natural space and nurturing natural space and not having snacks and things in between our main meals. And then also we want to make sure that we're training on an empty stomach. So every time we go into a workout, we need 3 to 5 hours of space between our last meal and our workout. And then also, ideally, you're doing a little bit of activity first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and that reinforces that fat burning and self-sufficiency concept. For sleep, it's super simple, and we've already heard some great feedback on this. Operation Lights Out, which means when you go into your room at night, you are not bringing your cell phone into the bed with you unless you're using it for an alarm, but it has to be in airplane mode. You have to have all the stuff turned off on it. And then the room ideally is completely dark. You've done a little detective work, and you've made sure that you don't have light sources coming in from different directions, and you need to make sure that your room is cool and that your bed is electronic free. It's like an electronic free zone, so you push all the electronics to the peripherals. Now, I got something really cool that just came in. Well, you can't see what it is really, but it's blackout shades, and it's these blackout shades I got from Amazon, and I'm going to trim them to fit my window, and I'm going to go in there and tape it, and it has this ability to raise it. But bottom line is I got street lights coming in from my window even when I close my blinds, and I'm really excited to make my room super, super dark. So, all right, you got to do that piece of it. You know, if you're one of these people that likes to listen to stuff and watch stuff and lay in bed and do that kind of thing, you have to understand it is not contributing to good sleep. You have to minimize or eliminate that stuff. All right, and then for hydration, remember mineralizing water, adding a pinch of unrefined Himalayan salt to all the water that we drink. A bonus would be adding a little bit of concentrates, maybe even our vitamin C powder. And then for the priming and practice. So I understand the food, for most of us, it's pretty elegant, pretty simple. Hold on one second. Pretty elegant, pretty simple. Not saying that we're all perfect with it for the most part, but our definition of real food and the way that we structure our eating tends to lend itself to be super simple and elegant. A lot of people get that figured out pretty quick. I understand the priming and practice for a lot of people. The morning process is something difficult to implement. That's more of a perceptual thing than anything else, because the reality is that it takes about 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at the most, to go through this whole process, and we all have that time somewhere in the morning. Like, we really do. You got to find the time. Just like I find 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to brush my teeth, I can find 5, 7, 10 minutes to do a little priming and practice. The perception of what you need to do and the difficulty of it is, I think, what gets us all hung up. And my best advice is just to commit to sitting down and doing it. You sit down, you find yourself a good spot, make it ritualistic and special. You know, I like to have a little bit of essential oils, and I usually carry them with me to the park, and I have my special little spot that I love. So wherever you're doing it, make it ritualistic, do some things that make it feel special, and then all you're doing is sitting down and thinking about things that you're grateful for. You know, I like to do what we call the circle of gratitude. I start with myself, and I think about all the things I'm grateful for with myself, my health, my fitness, this path that I'm on, my awareness, and then I start to branch out to all these people that are really close to me. So of course I think about people like Sonia and Nicole and Colby and the people that I interact with on a daily basis. I always think about the community. I always think about all of you that we're trying to help. And then things branch out from there, and I start to think about random people that pop in my mind and experiences and things, and that's a great thing. If you're tied for time, you can time yourself for about 2-3 minutes for circle of gratitude or gratitude. And then the meditation piece is super simple right now. All we're doing is sitting and listening to what's going on in our environment and watching our tendency to start thinking. And you really have to have this deliberate intention to sit down and really look for thoughts and watch yourself thinking or watch yourself getting caught up and lost in thought. All right, so listening is not a problem, but if I start to listen and get caught up in it and think about it and have some pictures and some ideas and conversations around it, that's not really a problem, but we want to notice that and come back to just listening. So like this morning, I did a priming and practice session in the middle of Discount Tire. I sat there, I didn't have it, I didn't have time for it this morning because things were just too crazy. And so I had 30 minutes where they were rotating my tires. And so I sat there, circle of gratitude, and then did my timer for about 7 minutes and just sat and listened to things in the environment. It was really interesting to listen to people talk but not get caught up in what they were actually saying, and to listen to the music and not get caught up in the music, and notice my tendency to think and think about things and want to stop and all that stuff, And then went through all my different affirmations and positive statements because those are all on a notepad function on my phone. So anyway, just commit to doing it. If you don't feel like you're doing it right, you are doing it right, because just doing it is doing it right, okay? Remember your homework videos, Fathead and Fed Up. Fathead is a game changer. Fed Up is a great documentary as well. Really love Fathead. Make sure you watch those before coming into the meeting. And then also remember our supplementation stack. We've got the starter package, which includes all the different things that we've talked about already. And then you can do all those different things a la carte. Those things are going fast. Since we put out the video, people have been coming in here and grabbing stuff. This is jet fuel. I love it. I use it 3 times a day. And then every day I do everything that we talked about in the video as well. So what else? We have our next quest that just got finished. It's sourcing your water. It's such an important quest. I need everyone to watch that video and take it to heart and source your drinking water, and also do something about your shower head. All right, so watch that video, and then let's talk over the grade sheet. All right, the grade sheet, the top box, we need you to fill out a bullet point list of all the good things you've noticed change over the past 2 weeks, even if they're subtle, even if they're continuations of the things that have happened before. The second box, bring to our attention any difficulties, problems, issues, questions, things that you want to bring to our attention, okay? And then the rest of it should be self-explanatory. You're going to give yourself the number of days that you completed each one of those activities times the number of points, and then in the right-hand column, you're going to put the total number of points, okay? I think that's pretty dang self-explanatory. If we could have that completed by the time you come to the meeting, that would be awesome, so we don't have to spend much time on it in the meeting, okay? Dan, we love you guys. We love this. We love everything about all this stuff. We love the good, the bad, everything in between, because we know that it all contributes to the greater good, and it really does. It really does. This is a lifelong journey. It is a lifestyle. It is a way of life, and meet it where you can. Do the best you can. Give us some feedback, and we're here for you because we care. We really do. All right, guys? Thank you so much.